Let the Dogs Out finally came together. It was a real Baha moment. Welcome to How Do We Human. This is the podcast where we talk about all the weird and uncomfortable micro moments in life. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Binning.
I'm one of your hosts, Evan Cox.
And today we're going to be fulfilling our promise, our duty to you, the listener. And we're going to be talking all about the Baha Men. Doing a deep dive.
Oh, yeah.
Getting into it.
Into those men.
But before we do that, there's something else I got to get into.
Oh, no!
And that is asking Evan, how you doing?
Boing.
I'm doing great. So, I did something the other day that I'm not proud of.
Ooh.
Something I didn't realize I was doing as I was doing it. Here's
letting the dogs out.
I let the dogs out. I gotta come clean.
You.
Yeah. You let the dogs out. Yeah. No, of course not. Here's what happened. I still look at Instagram, you know. I've left some social platforms behind, but I still pop around that one. And, you know, they give you, what do you call them? Like, not friend requests, but suggestions. Like, hey, you probably know this person. And 99% of them are like, I do, and I don't follow them for a reason.
Correct.
And then every now and then there's someone that's like, oh my God, hey, I haven't thought about that person in a while. And you look through their profile and you're like, what a fun life they have. I'm going to send them a friend request. I don't think that's what you call it on Instagram.
I think you're just going to follow them.
I'm going to follow them. But it's, you know, it's a request at the same time. It's a please follow me back.
Right.
So, follow this person. They follow me back.
Whoa.
Everything's great. And after seeing that, I don't know why it took them following me back for it to all come flooding back to me like, oh, yeah, they unfollowed me. Like we used to be. We used to follow each other. And then they unfollowed me. And now I'm just like, hello? Remember me? Maybe follow me again.
Right.
And I'm not happy with that. But they followed me back, so everything's cool.
Everything's cool. Now you just have to monitor all the time if they're still following you.
Yes. Now, when you lose somebody, you kind of want to just put them in the rear view. Just be like, all right, they don't follow me on social. They don't follow me, period. And they're gone. Or they're gonna have to follow me from a long distance.
Yeah.
Eat my dust.
Okay.
Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I had a lot of different stories that I have had in my phone for a long time. Then kind of decided that I don't really want to talk about any of them anymore. And so I have another classic. It's one of the 3 stories I tell. It's, I either went on a hike or actually it might just be 2 stories I tell. I either went on a hike or I ordered Domino's. And this is a story about me ordering Domino's.
Can we put together a book that's like Aesop's Fables? It's just Chris's stories.
This episode, I ordered Domino's. Now that it no longer says we're requiring contactless delivery, you can either select contactless delivery or you can be contacted.
Yeah, full contact, no
full
pads.
contact, yeah. The thing is, though, when it's been contactless delivery for the last several months, there have been plenty of times where the driver has insisted on contacting me.
Oh, that's the worst.
So this time I was just like, you know what? I'll just put contact delivery is fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
And luckily there's one driver there who like he'll call you when he's pulling up to your apartment to be like, "Hey, this is Domino's. I'm pulling up outside
Bill
your
Crosby.
apartment." He's desperate for
The
work.
domino.
He's desperate for work.
That's true. He is out.
Yeah. Yes, he is. Um,
Domino.
um, but so this person, I was very glad did not call me because that is like the worst part
Yeah.
of the experience I've had with Domino's. Even when they get my order wrong, that is still better than them calling me to tell me that they are pulling up. It's like I have the tracker. I know where you are.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, I buzzed this guy into the apartment building, and I don't know if he expected it to be contactless delivery because I open the door and I catch him doing something that I don't know that he thought I was going to catch him doing. And that is walking down the hall, arms stretched out, balancing the pizza on his head as he walked up to my door.
That feels about right. Oh, that is very funny.
But he didn't drop it. It was just that little awkward moment of opening the door, both of us being like, "Oh, whoops."
Oh, didn't expect to see you here.
Yeah. And then he went on his merry way.
Back to work.
Yes.
His merry way.
His
back
merry
to the
way back
Domino's
to his
location.
job that doesn't pay him very
Or the
much and is
Domino's
short-staffed.
ghost kitchen.
Yeah.
All of the above.
I mean, we can.
Well, I got all these dogs.
You got all these dogs. That's.
I got all these dogs.
Yeah.
We got to do something about it.
Should we let them out?
I think it's time to let out the dogs. Let out the dogs. Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Welcome to a How Do We Human investigative report on the Baha men's who really let the dogs out.
It's been nearly 20 years since anyone even thought of their names. But today, April of 2022, we're going to learn an uncomfortable amount about the Baha men. I really tried all day
thing I made.
to think about like even before you had made that music, because that was the first time I had heard it. You only told me that you were making it or that you had made it right before we started recording.
I like secrets.
But all day I had been trying to figure out some sort of like Keith Morrison Dateline like pun / impression to do surrounding this investigative report.
We were
Couldn't do it.
Page. Couldn't do it. It can't be done.
Can't be done. I defy you to come up with one.
If you got one out there, send us an email or on Instagram. And how do we wait? I'm back.
Great. Last episode, Evan, I don't know if we want to
Last time.
start with this, but last episode you did say you had a story about the Baha Men that you were saving for this episode. We go
That's
now
true.
to Evan Cox, the special report.
It's so stupid. We're gonna need to just keep that bed. We can use that in the future. Yes, I do have a Baja history, you could say.
Uh-huh.
I remember. I think. I mean, this is one of those songs. First off, just before I even tell it, because you know how I love to tell stories.
Yes.
Before I even tell this story, as I said, we need after this. We need. I love music, but we need to take a break from doing music-related podcasts because I can't fucking sleep because I've got "Who Let the Dogs Out" stuck in my head. It finally took over for 32 renditions of Crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing well. I'm very tired. But, or at least we need to, if we do any music related stuff, less catchy things.
Oh, okay.
Stuff that sucks that I'll
Stuff
forget
that
about
sucks,
immediately.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll just rank the catalog of Q or Tomcat, and that'll all stay out of my head. Anyways, I say all that to say all this. Some songs in your lifetime are such massive hits that you remember the day you heard it, you know?
Okay, yeah.
And for some reason, it's more so when it's like a seemingly fun song. Weirdly, I'm going to pair this with Hey Ya.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Very, very fun party song. I remember very clearly the first time I heard it. That has like, oh, those lyrics are not what I thought they were about. Interesting. I don't think that's related at all, but hey, I did it. I related them. Anyways, it's the year 2000. In the year 2000, I'm a little boy. I don't know.
Short and stout.
Was I? Yeah, maybe. Was I 11? 88? No, 12. I would have been about 12. I hear this shit on the radio. Here's what I don't remember. I don't remember if I heard it or my mom heard it. One of us heard it. And we're like, oh, I gotta let the other person know.
You know that new sound you've been looking for? Well, listen to this.
Hey, Mom! Mom! You know that new sound you've been looking for? It's all coming together. Just got to bring the babies in.
That's right.
So, what was the popular thing to do at the time? Because you didn't know. We weren't radio experts. We just heard a song and we're like, holy shit, this song is good and weird and seemingly very silly. And what you did at the time, if you thought, hey, there's a chance this never plays on the radio again, you got to get that cassette tape and you got to cement it so that you've got at least a portion of that song playing on the radio. So my mom and I did this, and my mom's push was that we've got to show this song to our neighbor, who's a good friend of my mom's, family friend. I've known her forever. She's the best, great sense of humor, super fun, funny person. And my mom's just like, she's going to love this. We got to go over there right now. And so she enlisted me. I recorded the rest of the song on my portable cassette player. And we walked it over to show it to our neighbor. And I think to this day, we don't know what was going on. Something was going on over there. And she was not in a good mood. Like, I don't know if people were in an argument about something. I just remember being a preteen
Yeah.
going over with a cassette player. Like, look at this. Who let the dogs out? Being greeted with like, cool. Bye. I didn't sign up for this. With that memory and that reaction, that's not literally what she said, but it was definitely a like, it's not a good time
Yeah.
right now.
Our
And
dogs are
I will
missing.
always. That would have been terrible timing. The dog gets run over. Look at this cool song. The dog's out. Anyway, so I always connect that with that day. And so I have a sense of shame related to this song of like, was I too excited about the Baha Men when they came out? Probably. But weren't we all?
Yeah, I mean, this was a big cultural phenomenon,
Yeah.
and it's something that so recently at work, the song like every now and then they'll try new playlists out. They'll try, to shake it up a little bit. And one of the songs that played maybe a week or two ago was the Macarena. And the Macarena, similar
Wow.
to Who Let the Dogs Out,
Oh yeah.
big smash hit in the late 90s, early
Yeah.
2000s,
That was an elementary school touchstone
and
for
then
me.
disappeared from public
Forever.
consciousness forever. Yeah.
That's a wild choice to put on a playlist.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Especially for
I
a
kept waiting.
workplace.
I kept looking around to see if anybody was going to be brave enough to do the dance, and no one did.
I still know it. Although I've lost the no, yeah, I get it. Down here, then over. There was a while I wasn't sure. I'm like, do I really still know the Macarena? I don't know. Maybe I've lost it with
Yeah.
time. But like
You're like a sleeper cell. Just,
like
you
I was
hear
gonna
the
say, like
music, and all of a sudden you're like, must comply.
I think everyone my age are Macarena sleeper cells. I was gonna say like it's like a Fahrenheit 451 situation where it's like we've gotten rid of this song, so those of us that know the dance have to keep the tradition alive
Yeah.
to pass it down to younger generations, because we can't let people forget about
Right.
a really good dance. Somehow less motion than line dancing. Wow, that's amazing. I thought you were going to say Who Let the Dogs Out, which would have also been weird, but I think you're right. I think the Macarena might be a weirder choice.
Yeah, I feel like especially because the Macarena is like specifically like there is a specific dance. Whereas
Mhm.
Who Let the Dogs Out is just like get out there and go nuts. But the Macarena, it's like
Fuck shit up.
you better not be differentiating from
Yeah.
these moves.
Do not move the lower half of your body until it's time to gyrate and twist.
Exactly. I before we get into the history of the Baha Men, I just want to say, Evan,
Oof.
I'm a
Yeah.
little bit angry.
Me too. I wonder if we're angry for the same reason.
We'll find out. Because you and I both, I think, probably did the same level of research, which is Google
Probably.
Baha Men and see what comes up.
Sounds
Now,
familiar.
I dove into not just the regular section of Google, but the news section of Google
Ooh.
to determine how recently have the Baha Men been in the news. And it
Yeah.
turns out they were in the news, quote unquote,
Mhm.
today.
Oh.
An
Okay.
article on
What?
WBCKFM.com.
What do they want?
Well, it's like it's not a news article as much as it's like how most journalism is nowadays, where it's like, I wanted to write about something, here it is.
So I'm gonna start. Pretty soon it's gonna be over. And you're gonna be like, did they get to the point?
Yeah.
Like, well, they signed off, so
Here's
I
a
guess the article's
7-paragraph
done.
article about a 1-sentence quote from somebody on a podcast.
I copy and pasted 6 paragraphs from 8 different Wikipedia articles. I did not see that. We
Well,
are angry for different reasons.
yes, I can't wait to get into why you're angry, but the reason that I'm
Someone let
upset
the
about
dogs out.
this post on WBCK
On the CW?
FM.com. Yeah, the
Was
CW.
it Arrow?
Yeah. Oh, it was
Or
the Flash.
Jughead?
It was the Flash. He was mad that he's not the one that entered the Speed Force and got all the cheers.
Sorry, it was a different Flash.
Sorry. So this is a long article, okay?
Cheers.
But these are the sentences that have upset me. Again, this is an article that was published today.
That's crazy.
One day after the episode where you and I talk about the Baha men was birthed into existence. But this article says this is the middle of the article. This isn't how it starts. But this morning I came across a podcast called 99% Invisible by Roman Mars. And in one particular episode, he dedicates it discovering the origins of the song Who Let the Dogs Out by Baha Men, one of the most recognizable and popular songs from the year 2000. The search was actually started by his guest Ben Sisto, who himself went down this strange journey that started by him Wikipediaing the song.
Motherfucker.
That was our journey. That's what we did.
Yeah. When did this podcast episode come out?
That I don't know. I didn't look into that. Let's see if I click on this link. Let's see. It'd be wild if it also came out yesterday.
It's called Whomst Among Us Let the Dogs Out. All right, that's pretty good. That came out in 2020.
Good. Yes.
Okay.
February 11th, 2020.
So
pre-COVID.
You know, we're keeping the story alive.
That's right. But that was the fact that had come up, and was the same thing we did last week was
man.
Why doesn't WBCKFM.com want to talk about us?
I don't know. I thought they did for a second, the way you were saying that, but then you were mad, so I'm like, what did they say about us?
Yeah.
I found this podcast. It was awful, but they brought up the bomb, and it got me thinking.
I'm going to see if I can find out where that this radio station's located.
Yeah, you jerks.
Battle Creek, Michigan.
Battle Creek. Isn't that's where old Cornflakes guy comes from?
Old Cornflakes guy.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know that story? That's a good story. That'll be the next episode. What's his name? It's cereal related. But Battle Creek is the home of like several cereal companies, like major cereal companies.
Oh, okay.
And it's because that guy was from there, and he was like what's the word? I don't think he was maybe he was a psychiatrist. He was a doctor of some sort.
Oh, you know what? I do know this.
Yeah, he like made cornflakes to battle
the Nazis.
I'm gonna use the word lustiness.
Yeah, no, it was made to drive down horniness.
Yeah. I like the word lustiness.
Lustiness is Very provocative.
Yeah, yeah,
Evan, why
and
are you
kind
mad?
of.
Or did you have too much cornflakes? Is that why you're
It's
upset?
kind of, yeah. It drove up my testosterone. That would be the opposite, I think.
Right, yeah.
Um,
What cereal
lustiness.
do we think increases lustiness?
Ooh, probably Fruit Loops. It's got that
Yeah.
big old nose.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
You know what I mean?
I do,
All
unfortunately.
those loops. Anyways, so similar, unfortunately. Basically, what we're finding out before we start this episode is this is well-tread territory. Literally within the last couple of years. Did you come across that Vice has covered this?
No.
Vice has a half-hour long episode of one of their shows on YouTube that is essentially the only research I did because it's everything we wanted to know.
Great.
And so nice, but at the
Nice
same
Vice.
time, come on. They should have known to leave it to us, and that was just last August they put that out. But
Huh.
what I will say, in both of these cases, they were onto something because the song has a good story.
It's true. And I will say, our episodes are usually 2.5 hours worth of material.
That's
So get
right.
wrecked, Vice.
Fuck off.
I was shocked to learn, if we're just going to get right into the
I
history,
guess, yeah, let's go.
surprised that the Baha Men formed in 1977. That's
77?
wild. And then
Yeah.
23 years later, they had their first big
Well, and
international hit. I mean, they had some
yeah, they had
hits
a
locally
couple
before
of
that, but yeah.
successes. But like, so the weirdest part, which I don't know if you saw, this was in the Vice video, which I'll probably be referring to this whole time, so we could probably link to it. But fuck that podcast episode. we don't promote other podcasts unless they
I
want to
didn't
come on our
listen to the
show.
podcast.
Yeah,
I
fuck
just looked at the beginning of that article.
I don't know anything about this podcast. I have heard of it though, so it's probably pretty good. Plus, I like that title. Anyways, maybe we'll link to both. Indigestion. I had pizza. And I shouldn't have had pizza, ever.
Who let the pizza out?
Little Caesar.
Good answer.
Anyways,
good answer.
good answer. So, the interesting thing to me that I saw in that Vice video that I didn't see anywhere else was, yeah, like you said, they've been around since 1977. The list of members and former members of this band is insane. And so the timeline of it is they had a singer. Let's see, I can find his name. Nehemiah Hield, and we'll get to the history of the song itself because again, it's a cover song. This is not an original hit. This is doing a cover. And when this cover came to him, not because of this, but because he wanted a solo career, that singer left the band like the same week they were going to record this song. Did you find this?
No, I don't think so.
So one of the people related that had brought this song to the band, I forget if he's like not their manager, but just someone who had worked with them a lot. They went to the Bahamas and went to a mall and just auditioned people. A few days later, they sent a guy to go like listen to people sing one at a time, bring us back someone who's going to be the new lead singer of the Baha Men and drive home this hit. And the guy found 3 people that he's like, they're all good and they all kind of bring a different thing. I'm just going to bring all 3 of them. And then they recorded, I think 2 days later. So those 3 guys that I always thought were the Baha Men weren't members of this band until a matter of days before recording.
That's the dream right there. Get
Right? you
plucked
should.
from
You don't want to be in the
obscurity.
Baha Men too early. You want to show up right at the
You
right
don't. Yeah, you don't
time.
want to be there the 23 years prior. You want to come in
No.
right at the peak of success.
Although when it comes time to ask who let the dogs out, prime suspects right there. How well do we know these guys?
That's true.
Just
Yeah.
let them into the Baha Men fold? Oh, and also to close that, I have confirmed it is Bahamian.
Oh, all right. Good to know.
So we can sound smarter.
Good.
Not
That's
smart, but closer.
just a little bit closer.
Just a little touch. A little touch
Um,
closer.
did you find out that they had a little bit of beef with Moby? They had Mo beef.
Mo beef. And
Yeah.
Moby's a vegetarian. Mo beef.
Uh,
You can't have beef with Moby.
yeah, so the song Who Let the Dogs Out defeated Moby's Natural Blues for Best Dance Recording in February of 2001. And so
Okay.
he quipped when asked about how he felt. He was like, well, I think it's quite a catchy little pop song. And my feeling is if I'm going to lose an award, I'd rather lose to a novelty act than a serious act. It feels like less of a slight.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Damn, Moby. That's
Yeah.
that's rough. But that's part of the weird wonder of this song is like I said, like when heard it in the first place, and my mom and I are like laughing about it and being like, we're gonna share this with the neighbor. Like it does come off as a novelty act, but then like you listen to any of their other music and it's not at all. They're just a band.
Right.
They've got some other stuff that's catchy, but like I don't know. Moby, I like Moby, but I've never heard that song. Sorry, Moby. Don't be a sore loser and call people a novelty act. It's not nice.
No, and I guess like I mean I know that I've heard some of Moby's music, but I feel like isn't he known for like just being like a weird creep? Isn't that like his legacy?
What was that? Is he a weird creep? I don't remember. How can we keep track of all these weird creeps? Oh yes,
It was like Natalie Portman, right? He was like,
yes.
I don't remember what it
right.
was. I just remember
It was just like a case of him just being real, like she's my girlfriend, and her
right.
being like, I'm not your. I've never dated you before,
Right.
Ugh. Well, anyways, I like Moby's music. Not all of it, some of it. But we're not here to talk about Moby.
Not here to talk about Moby. We are here to talk about
creepy dealings.
the Baha Men.
So I want to roll back,
Please.
as I like to do. Roll, and keep those prices rolling. So this song, I'll get the guy's name. Originally written by, what is it, Anselm Douglas? Was that his name? Anselm Douglas. So that's the interesting thing I've found is that this song was a hit in the Caribbean. This was already like a successful hit, which is why in the first place when they brought it to the Baha Men, they were like, no. like that's like if you had a band that'd been around since the 70s and someone from a different country was like, we want to make a hit we want you to do a cover of Call Me Maybe. Like it's time. Like, is it time?
We think you have the right energy.
I don't think it is time. But
should you and I do a cover of Call Me Maybe?
Probably. Maybe.
Probably. Yeah. Right.
The original, which I have here and I will play. The original Anselm Douglas version of Who Let the Dogs Out, titled Doggy,
Yes,
sounds
yes.
almost identical.
Fantastic.
Have you heard it?
No, but I did read that was the original title by that other
Doggy.
artist.
So
Yeah.
here's Doggy. So this part sounds different. Hey now.
Hey, ladies, take charge of this one. Are you run things?
Oh, he's barking.
I'm leaving you in charge. Hear this, hear this. The party was late, the party was pumping. Hey, and you and everybody having a ball.
Like, once you get to it, it's the same song.
Right, same lyrics, yeah.
Then a girl respond to the call. I hear a woman shout out, "Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?"
You can see why that would be a hit in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say the Baha Men did it better. I mean, I don't know if it's that's the one that I've just heard for years, and so I am partial to it, but it feels like they were right to bring that song idea to the Baha Men.
But it's such a weird thing about the music industry when something like that happens, where it's like, this song was a big hit, but it didn't break out. But someone can hear it and just be like, but it can. You just didn't. Mm-hmm. You didn't do it right.
You didn't do it right.
Let me do it.
Right.
But so the I'll stop. Maybe I'll stop. Maybe I won't. Rallying about this Vice video, but it was a very good video. But the what cracks me up. So we now know from last episode that the song then went to a group called Jack and his Fat Jack and his Pack of Pets.
Yes.
So the guy, the producer, who was the one that was I think his name was Steve Greenberg. He was the one that was like, this song should be a big hit and we need to get someone to cover it. He'd never heard that original song. He was telling this story in this video, like, this guy who's like kind of a friend of mine, really like odd duck, like real strange guy. But he's, been around the industry a decent amount, so we know each other. And he brought me this song by this group called Fat Jack and his Pack of Pets. And it's called Who Let the Dogs Out. And it's terrible. And I'm telling him, like, it's bad. This is one of the worst songs I've ever heard in my life. But like, there is that chorus that like has a call and response. Like, right. All right, I could see that. This guy knows what he's talking about. So there is something here, but he's going like, like, where did you find this song? And then he's like, this is you, isn't it? And the guy's like, yeah. So the guy that had brought it is Fat Jack. Is his alias. And then like throughout the episode, that song is referenced like 3 different times by different people. And all of them say, it's so bad. And I'll play a little bit of that.
Please.
And it is so bad.
Who let the dogs out?
I mean, it's pretty great. But it's thanks.
There's so much going on.
There's so much happening.
It's like the Baha Men is playing at the same time as like that scene from Tarzan where they're like trashing the camp and they're like playing all the instruments and destroying everything. It's like those two things are happening at the same time at the same volume.
It's very odd. It's a strange thing that exists that I don't think anyone ever would have heard if it didn't eventually turn into the Baha Men's Who Let
Yeah.
the Dogs Out. So odd. But thank you, Fat Jack, and your pack of pets. We couldn't have done it without you.
No.
No. What's the other? Oh, that the Steve Greenberg guy was like very adamant about the barks being barks, and they were like they had recorded it, and it was all who and not
Mm-hmm.
roof. And Steve was very upset by this. He's like, no, don't say who. You gotta bark.
It's not
Like
who let the
doggies.
owls out. It's who let the dogs out.
And so apparently the barking is Steve Greenberg by himself. It is none of the Baha Men. He's like, let me do it. Because only I could get this. And he did. That made me smile.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, maybe it's just because we were so young and free, but I remember that song like being, it was like a funny song but was still popular,
Yeah.
And I don't know how much you saw or if they went over this in your precious Vice video, but the reception, at least retrospectively, seems to have been overwhelmingly negative.
Yeah.
There's a 2007 poll conducted by Rolling Stone to identify the 20 most annoying songs, and Who Let the Dogs Out ranked third. It also was ranked first on Spinner's 2008 list of top 20 worst songs ever. And Rolling Stone also ranked it at number 8 on a worst songs of the 1990s poll, despite the fact that the song was from 2000.
Damn. Yeah, it's interesting how that can happen, and sometimes it is just that ubiquitousness, I guess, where it's just everywhere.
Yeah.
That people turn on it real fast. What popped into my head listening to the Fat Jack version was like similar to like the modern version of that was the What Does the Fox Say?
Yes, and that's
Which is like
that was
fucking
what was
everywhere.
referenced in that Moby article was that would be another
Yeah.
gimmicky act or whatever Moby said. Hey, I will say that What Does the Fox Say got
Yes.
pretty annoying because it was everywhere, but
Yes.
I've gone back and listened to it since the hype has died down, and it
Yeah.
is still a banger.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's danceable.
It is danceable.
But I would say I find it more annoying than Who Let the Dogs Out. Because I think it's partially like intentionally annoying, It's just making unpleasant noises.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. They're very different types of annoying.
Yeah.
Because Who Let the Dogs Out, I feel like it is funny to us, but I like What Does the Fox Say is supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
I don't know if I find it as annoying.
Yeah, I do.
They should collab.
What?
They should collab.
They could. Yeah, Baha Men are still going.
Yeah, that was the other thing that was shocking to me is that they're still going.
They're still going strong. I on their website's a contact form and like booking. I'm like, should we try to get the Baha Men on this podcast? And I decided against it.
Well, they did make an appearance. This was wild to me. They made an appearance in 2016. Oh no, excuse me, 2018. So even more recently, on season 14, the Becca Kufrin led season of The Bachelorette.
That's right. I did see that. I was going to mention that to you. That's funny.
The Bachelor episodes often have a musical guest on the romantic one-on-one dates, where the
What a
couple
weird
and
thing.
they just kind of dance together as typically a musical artist you've never heard of in your life um, plays in the background, and then they cut to them
Yeah.
doing their little interview, and it's like, oh wow, just to have big city doings over here really made this night so special. And it's like, you've never heard of that artist in your life. uh
Big city dude.
but the idea of going on a romantic one-on-one date and then having the Baha men show up is wild.
That's tough. That's a tough pill to swallow. But yeah, the song, the Ansel Douglas version, that little like run up he does at the start, makes it way more clear what the song's about. I don't
That's
know if you were
true.
listening to what he was saying. But
I was, and because we did learn last week that
it's
it's
a feminist anthem.
a feminist anthem to combat catcalling. I think is what it
Yeah.
was, or something like that.
Yeah, the explanation for it was like it's basically like guys who they have a slang word that which is another reason no one in the US knows what it meant. It's because they use a Caribbean slang word in it, but basically, it's about like guys, you'd run into guys at a bar that's like, oh, these sluts, skanks, like that sort of shit. It's
Yeah.
like, fuck off.
Right.
Who let these dogs out? Stand up for yourself, women. I would love it if that became because here's the thing, they call it a feminist anthem. Like, can it really be an anthem if nobody knows? But I would love for it to become one, and for women in bars who are like approached like that to respond, who let the dogs out? I would
Yeah.
love for that to become a thing.
That would be exciting. I will say though, as much as it makes the
everybody
meaning of the
cheers.
song clearer, I am glad that the Baha Men took out the run up. Just get
Yeah.
into it,
Yeah.
Lose the run
cleaner.
up. It's cleaner.
Lose the same page. You know what's cooler than dogs?
A million dogs.
And letting them out. A million dogs. That's true. That's good math. Holy shit. But
I
yeah,
am.
so
Oh, I was gonna say I'm also surprised. I learned that they still rehearse Who Let the Dogs Out. That when they're constantly rehearsing it, even though they all know it at this point, and they say in here that they're a little tired of rehearsing it, but
yeah, I'm sure
that it is still fulfilling to perform it in front of an audience because the audience loves it.
it's a thing with bands. I've seen what's their name? Modern English. I'm a big fan of. They're the ones that do I'll Melt With You. That was their one hit wonder, but it's like the rest of their music is awesome, and most of it doesn't really sound like that. And the lead singer, when I saw them, was just full on like, that was their encore, and he's just like, all right, well, here's the time we have to play this fucking song. It's still exciting, but it's like, it made me laugh because it's like, yeah, you can't, when you've got one massive hit, people would riot You know, if you
Yeah.
and some friends got together and you're like, I can't believe this. The Baha Men are playing nearby. Do you want to go? And they didn't play Let the Dogs
Yeah. Oh
Out.
my god.
That'd be terrible.
Yeah.
Riots.
Yeah. Absolutely. Stray
People in the
dogs running
streets.
amok in the streets.
Million dogs.
I mentioned last episode that I think I had the Baha Men greatest movie hits. It had a
Yes.
lot of other songs from them that were featured in movies. The Crocodile Rock cover, of course, from the Crocodile Hunter Collision Course feature film. Um, and the Best Years of Our Lives from Shrek, and Scooby Dee from Scooby Doo.
The song's
So
called
I
Scooby
feel
Dee.
like I was pretty well versed in their
Damn.
discography from
Yeah.
2000 to 2003.
Sounds like it. You were deep in. Whew, deep in with
they
the Baha Men.
they also were one of many artists to record a song on the album Disney Mania and two of its four sequels. And if you're wondering what Disney Mania is, that's when
And
artists
I am.
take classic Disney songs and then make them worse by doing their own version.
Great.
Uh,
Popular artists or just semi-popular artists?
that's a great question. I wonder if it'll tell me who else is on this first Disney Mania. Oh, it sure will. All right. So this first Disney Mania is from 2002 is when it was released.
Yeah.
Our artists here are Anastasia or I don't know how it's pronounced. A-Teens,
Oh
Usher,
God, I forgot about 18s.
In Sync, Ashanti, and Lil Sis Shishi. Smash Mouth, of course. Jessica Simpson, Aaron Carter, S Club, Baha Men, Hillary Duff, Jump 5, No Secrets, Christina Aguilera, Ronan Keating,
One.
and Sweetbox.
Oh,
Now,
sweet box.
Sweetbox did the bonus German track of A Whole New World from Aladdin.
S Club, I always knew as S Club 7. Must not be 7 of them at that point, and they changed their name.
Yeah, perhaps not. What song do you think the Baha Men sang on the first Disney Mania?
Well, I have the list in front of me, so I'm gonna take a wild guess and say Hakuna Matata.
Oh, it means no worries, because you're correct.
Yay! Now, I know
Um,
some of these. I know the Christina Aguilera Reflection. That was
yeah,
a hit on Disney. Music video? I don't fucking know.
I
And I
don't
feel
know
like I've
either.
heard that Smash Mouth one. Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
How special.
I'm sure we heard some of those when we were younger. Um, on Disney Mania
Disney
2, they sang
Mania.
"It's a Small World," and I
Oh, they're
really want to
back.
hear the Baha Men "It's a Small World"
That
version.
sounds. Oh man, what
See
the
if you can find
hell?
it real quick.
I can get that for us real quick. One sec. This is important. Wow, that
And then
sounds like torture.
on Disney Mania 4, they skipped Disney Mania 3 and then were asked to come back for Disney Mania 4. And they did Bahama coaster ride, which is normally Hawaiian roller coaster ride from Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, that's one I haven't seen Lilo and Stitch since it came out. My memory is not strong with it. I don't know. My yeah, I don't know. I don't remember
Oh,
any
also
music
on
from it, but
Disney
I remember
Mania
enjoying it.
for Casey and JoJo from our crazy bracket were
Hey,
also
what'd
on
they
this
do?
album. They did one of the
What?
Target exclusive bonus tracks
Fuck
of Go the
yeah.
Distance from Hercules.
God, I remember those times when Target exclusives were a thing. Fucking annoying. All right, I've got Baha Men's It's a Small World. Are you ready?
I am
Is it?
ready.
Can anyone be ready?
Can anyone be ready?
Oh no.
It's a world of laughter, a world of tears. It's a
Holy
world of
shit.
hope and a world of fears. There's so much that we share that is time we're aware. It's a small world after all. Everybody now. A small world after all.
Oh. Whoa. I feel like I just watched the videotape from The Ring. Like, there's going to be consequences for playing that on a podcast.
Yeah, that's
Sorry, listeners, you're all dead.
that was incredible. It's
Yeah, that was
somehow
something.
not at all what I expected, but
Yeah.
also exactly what I expected.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't what I expected, but as soon as I heard it, I'm like, this should have been what I expected.
Right, exactly.
The intro is so aggressive, like sharp and painful. Ugh. Ugh.
Is there anything else
Wow.
you'd like to talk about with the Baha Men? We've talked,
Well,
okay, go ahead.
well. So the other thing with this song is not only is it a cover, there were a lot of cases that some did and some could have become lawsuits because there are several songs from the 80s, from before Anselm Douglas's version, that have the exact same chorus.
Interesting.
And so his quote on that I took down here. He says, I never told anyone, hey, I came up with the phrase. Never did, because I didn't. In 95 or 96, two radio producers wrote a promo containing the Who Let the Dogs Out chorus. There was a 20 Fingers and Gillette released a dog. Released a dog.
They released a dog.
Released a song called "You're a Dog," where it's the exact same chorus except it's "Who Let the Dogs Loose." And then there's Brett Hannock and Joe Gonzalez recorded a dog. God damn it! Recorded a song called "Who Let the Dogs Out," and then other people have just said like, "Yeah, that was a thing we used to say, like in the '80s. It was like a phrase with that same meaning." So kind of what I was joking about.
Yeah,
like,
what you were
everyone's been
saying,
that,
yeah.
was that it kind of was a thing. And there's also a high school football team that there's video of you can find on YouTube where it's like them in the mid 80s and they win the game. They all get together and they go, "Who let the dogs out?" It's like, so I don't
Interesting.
know. More ubiquitous than we thought. It's and that's kind of what so there's like one kind of main original member of the Baha Men. I forget his name, Isaiah something. Isaiah Taylor, who's been there from the beginning, who kind of is the like, he's the bass player and the leader of the band. And yeah, he was just kind of like, that's, I guess that's how that happens. You know, sometimes there's shit that's just in the lexicon that none of us think about or think about turning into a chorus, but obviously other people did and
Yeah.
didn't have the same level of success. So yeah, I don't know. There's an air of mystery to it. The other thing I was very disappointed in myself to find was that Who Let the Dogs Out first broke in the United States via the Seattle Mariners.
Ooh, your
Right?
beloved
My beloved
hometown
Mariners. It was
team.
the last year A-Rod, old Alex Rodriguez, was a Mariner. He used it. They'd used it for something at the stadium, so not on air. Something at the stadium. Alex Rodriguez is like, "That's my shit," and he wanted that as his walk-on music, and so it was
Oh,
for that
right.
last year of him as a Mariner. But that was a big thing, was like it became popular on radio because it was huge in sports stadiums. So it's them, the Yankees started using it, the Mets used it, like it was a big sports thing. And now here we are, letting dogs out all over the country.
Yeah, letting dogs out willy-nilly.
Yeah, my dog's still here, right? I let the dog. Oh, she's there. She's under the camera. But yeah.
We've talked about when they got together, just 1977, and then several of them mere days before massive success.
Yeah.
And they're still recording and touring today. Maybe
Yeah.
not like right now as in today, but
Maybe.
they're still together making the music.
Making
Um
sweet, sweet music.
we've learned about the history of their big number one song, but an episode
Yes.
like this would not be complete without a game. So I do
Ain't
have
that the
another
truth?
game, Evan, for thou to play.
Oh, I'm so excited.
This is another 5-question game, just like last week.
Okay.
The first question:
Yes.
who sang "Who Let the Dogs Out"? Can you give me the most famous artist
Uh,
to have sang this song?
I'm going to guess it's the Baha Man.
That's correct. And now that all of these
Yay!
dogs have been let loose, Evan, the Baha Men need your help getting these
Oh, I
dogs
love
back
this.
together. These next 4 questions, I'm going to ask you who sang a song, and you're going to have to tell me which artist with a dog themed name sang this song. And we'll see
Great.
if you can get all 4 of these dogs back in the pen.
Got it.
So, Evan, question number 2: who sang G Bedtime Stories?
I vaguely remember there being like a Snoop Dogg bedtime stories thing. So I'm going to say Snoop Dogg.
That is correct. It was Snoop
Yes.
Dogg. Question number 3: who sang Never Been to Spain?
Never been to Spain. Never been to Spain. No idea. I'm going to take a shot at Lil Bow Wow.
Ooh, that is incorrect. We were
Adult Bow
looking
Wow?
for Three Dog Night.
Ah! I love Three Dog Night. I don't know that song.
Question number 4. One dog got away, but you can still get these last 2, Evan.
That's heartbreaking.
Wrangle these dogs. Who sang
Fuckers.
Shorty Like Mine?
I feel like you're toying with me now. Is this Lil Bow Wow?
We will accept Lil Bow Wow. I
It's
don't
Bow
know if
Wow.
he was Bow Wow or Lil Bow Wow at the time of this song, but that is correct.
We may never know.
We may never know. One of the world's greatest mysteries.
When did Lil Bow Wow stop being so lil?
On the next
When was
episode
he?
of How Do We Human?
Is he to suddenly decide he's not so lil when Wayne himself is perfectly happy being lil forever?
Wayne perhaps got sent off to Neverland with Peter Pan and will never become not Lil. He will always
Oh,
be
I couldn't figure out where
Lil.
that was going.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I was afraid to say Neverland. Like I
I
knew
know
that
why.
that's what it was, but I like was afraid to say it in a music related context.
Yes. Yeah, I get that.
The final dog to catch, Evan.
All right.
Who sang Dem Miami Boys?
I mean, that's gotta be. Anyway.
That is correct.
All right. I've got all the songs at my fingertips.
4 out of 5 dogs agree, Evan, that that's how many you caught.
And of all the. Why did this dog not agree? I mean, even the one that
'cause
got away should agree
He's the one
that
that got away. he listens to alternative facts.
Oh, God. Three Dog Night. Well, we done did it. That was very fun. I think we learned a lot. I learned a lot about the Baha Men these past few days.
Absolutely. And at the very least, we all learned the Baha Men's version of It's a Small World.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Go watch that Vice documentary. It's pretty solid. It's a good watch. I don't know. It's a new-ish series they have where they just cover a song and its story. And it was a fun one. Fun stuff. But kind of took the wind out of my sails.
Yeah.
In terms of being like, I'm gonna, like with Celino and Barnes, it's like both of us were able to go deep. Feels like we both hit something that was like someone else did this recently.
Yeah.
Took a little of the fun out of the party, but hey, we did it best. You heard it here. We're better than Vice.
Yeah. Let's clip that out.
We're better than Vice.
The Adam McKay movie?
Well, we're better than Vice.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
Any other
I
sound
have too
effects you
much
want to
power.
play? Okay.
I don't know. Nothing exciting over here. Unfortunately.
Somewhere that you can find exciting sounds are the sounds that come out of our mouths every Monday with this podcast.
I hate lasagna. No, that's not what he says.
What does the How Do We Human say?
That is anti-Garfield. I hate lasagna.
What a deep voice Garfield has.
What a good Garfield impression, Evan.
This is a great impression of that character that I've pretty much only known through reading Thought Bubbles.
Mondays rule. Anyways.
A lot of people don't know that Garfield is the one who introduces the cast and host a musical guest at the top of every SNL episode.
Yeah, that's him. And that means Garfield is dead.
Something that's not dead is this podcast. You can find it on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Amazon Music, anywhere that you get your podcasts. You can go to howdowehuman.com and listen to us there as well.
Oh yeah.
You can also check us out on our social medias. You can go to
Ow,
Instagram at How Do
ow.
We Human.
We got that handle.
You can follow us on Twitter at How Do We Human Pod.
Oh, we tweet those tweets.
Check us out on
Oh.
Facebook, How Do We Human.
I don't think you're ready for that handle, Minnie.
Minnie about to get drunk. You can send an email to howdowehumanpod@gmail.com.
The best part of that handle is that we got it up.
You keep changing it to got it up. And I don't enjoy it. But any sort of engagement that you can give us on either those platforms that we are actually providing the episodes or on those social media platforms, any sort of engagement is helpful and welcome. So please,
Yes, we just want to be engaged.
we just want to be engaged. Get us rings.
Rings.
Evan,
Yeah.
you got anything else you'd like to plug?
Well, if you want this podcast, should have put a ring on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got something. I got something. I'm like, maybe this exists, maybe it doesn't. Everything I come up with seems to exist these days. Cause it's all been done. But I've maybe got a reverse reasoning for it. What
Okay.
I want and need, and I feel like my neighbors probably want and need because I'm doing this once a week loudly. We just need an app that, like, when you live in an apartment building and you've got neighbors, you should be able to log the time and day or whatever, and just even just like once a time when you're living there and you have neighbors on all sides, and you can log which sides you can hear from, and then I can go on there. It's all anonymous. We don't need to know who's doing it when. But even if those people have moved, I know that in this apartment building, I can be heard from what sides. You know what I mean?
I guess so.
I'm self-conscious about how much noise I make, and everyone's
Yeah, no,
listening to me.
I can understand that concern. I guess what I'm confused by, and
Yeah,
perhaps you have an answer for this and can
I know I
illuminate
do.
me.
Mm-hmm.
Why would it not just be the walls that you share with neighbors that is where you can be heard from?
Huh?
You're asking for like, oh, where can they hear me? But like,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be like where the walls are, the shared walls? Wouldn't that be just the place they can hear you?
Well, that's what I mean. Maybe I didn't explain this very well.
Okay.
Yes, but I don't want to go ask. Basically, I've lived in places where I've gotten that feedback, like, I've got a neighbor on the other side of the wall, and they'll be like, hey, I've never heard you make a peep. And I spent that whole time being like, oh, I thought I was driving everyone crazy.
You
You
were
just
peeping
never
all the
know.
time.
Yeah, you never know the insulation between walls in a place. Because I like I said in the apartments episode or one of those, I'm like, I always just assume I'm the loud one.
Yeah.
If I can't hear someone else, I'm assuming they're quiet and they hate me, and
I see what you're
I'm
saying.
annoying.
So you're saying like if you're recording a podcast at 5:30 in the evening,
Yes.
you want to know that your neighbor can mark whether or not they hear you recording the podcast.
Sure,
Is
yeah,
that what it
that'd be
is?
great.
Okay.
That would
Got
be a
it.
good use for it. And then I think, because unless anything changes in the buildings, that'll go forever.
For
It
sure,
doesn't
yeah.
need to be like your current neighbors marking it. It's
Right.
like, oh, someone who lived here 5 years ago said you can hear from this one. And then I have that knowledge.
Okay,
You know
now
what I
I
mean?
think I
Peace
understand
of
it a little more.
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is an app coming to stores. I put a lot of thought into it. It's going to be named Evan's Little Peace of Mind.
Love
And
it.
I hope and pray that the SEO on that brings people in left and right. It seems
Is the
like
little logo gonna look like a slice of pie, but it's actually like a brain?
Yeah, it is. How'd you
Okay.
know? Chris,
Yeah.
what you got going?
I'm launching a campaign
Great.
to take control of Twitter.
Ooh,
Because it seems like
fun.
you're just like allowed to do that, and if the
Sure.
company repeatedly makes moves to prevent you from taking their company over, you can just refuse to stop and just
Yeah.
keep doing it.
Yeah.
And so I would like to take it over and challenge Elon Musk for the Twitter title.
I
Who's
like
gonna
that.
win? Someone with millions of rabid fans,
Mhm.
or me with 80-some followers? You be the judge.
The David and Goliath situation. you know?
Exactly.
I think you can take him.
Thanks.
Yeah, I know I'm not alone in thinking, hey, Elon's version of Twitter sounds awful.
I will say, if he manages to take it over, it will be exactly what I need to quit.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Well, I'm right there with you. I'll be the wind beneath your wings, just blowing.
Thank you. I love that. Yeah, blowing my armpits, Evan.
Yeah, I know you like that.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.